What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Creative Rise podcast. Today's episode is going to be awesome, talking all about why you need to deliver faster, talking just about that conversation and ways to do it, ways, if you don't do it properly, what might happen to your business. And we're just going to get into it because it's a really, really good conversation. It's something that we are very active about in our own business. We are really, really on it with trying to master the things we're going to be talking about today in the episode. And if you're new here, my name is Joey.
And I'm Christy.
This is Christy, and we started Creative Rise 6 years ago, this platform, this podcast 6 years ago, to help creatives just like us and just like you really focus on having conversations around the business side of running a creative business as a photographer, filmmaker, graphic designer, brand builder, an influencer, web developer, whatever you might be. We want to help you actually talk about the business side so that you can actually learn how to get paid to do what you love. So, yeah. Christy, excited to chat about this.
I'm really excited about this episode.
This is a great conversation.
I think that if you're kind of thinking like, man, I want to like land more deals. I want to get more inquiries. I want to get more attention on my business. I want to convert more people on sales calls. You might not be thinking about your delivery time, but your delivery time matters. And it's something that I actually feel like is one of like the cornerstones now of my business. And I think it's one of the main reasons people actually hire and book me. And I think that in the past it was not. And man, if I could go back, if I could like time travel back like 6 years and make this a cornerstone of my business, I think it would have been amazing for me. So this is an important episode. So I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're in the wedding or the brand space, this is going to be helpful for you. And it's something we're still learning and growing in, but it's really important.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah,
important.
we're always trying to do it really well. And guys, this is so important. Like, no joke. My biggest deal of the year, $55,000 deal, went through in February, was for a brand building project. So we were handling full rebrand, building out a lot of their digital footprint for a fintech company, and love those things. Super fun. They really went with us. The decision was made to work with me and my team versus working with a bunch of other people, simply because we told them we were actually going to hit the deadline that they wanted to hit. And it's because we focused on selling really fast delivery. And did I deliver on time?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we hammered it out, and we did a great job. Client was super stoked, and it was a grind.
Yeah.
But point is that we now live in a world where speed is valued so highly, right? Like, I will probably not order something on Amazon straight up. Maybe I'm stingy, but I won't order like the better product.
I won't either.
If it won't come quicker than another product.
We are such a product of our generation.
That's just the world we live in, right?
Yeah.
Like, people just value speed so much. So
yeah.
we were having this conversation the other day because we were just since the last time we recorded the podcast, which was last week, to now this week, we were in Miami. We live in California. Yeah. We flew to Miami to shoot a wedding. Great wedding, beautiful photos. You killed it. I was second shooting for you.
Joey did a great job as second shooter. He really did.
You delivered quite quickly. Talk about it.
Yeah, so I shot the wedding and actually delivered next day, which I've actually never done that before. I've never done a 24-hour delivery. It was 839 images on the Canon, and then there was about an 800 on a Fuji, which I didn't edit those. Those were preset.
So there's like 1,600 images. Now, here's the question. Well, Christy, you must have used AI. Did you use AI?
Okay. I'm an idiot for not using it. I will say that.
We were sitting
I'm
on
not
the plane.
I'm
like, Christy, you gotta start.
I actually tried. I tried training my AI preset through Narrative, which I'm going to be doing, but I couldn't do it because the Wi-Fi wasn't.
We were on the plane.
Enabled on the plane, and so I wasn't able to actually push it through. But I was like, we were so delayed. We had all these different connections, long flights. And I was like, you know what? We are leaving on. We need to go. We're going to a wedding, a family wedding next week. We got a lot of work we got to get done this week. And I don't want to be bogged down by editing. Like, I just don't want to do it. So literally, we had such a long travel day that I actually was I can hyper focus on an airplane. I think it's just years of working destination weddings. You're just like
you were exhausted though. Like, for everyone listening, like, oh, well, she must have not been exhausted. No, Christy calls the day after wedding zombie days.
Zombie days.
She was exhausted, but she still was like, I'm going to grind.
Well, I'm sitting here on an airplane. I can either watch average movies or I can get a little bit of work done. So I literally just sat and edited and was able to go through the entire wedding in the next day. And it was I'm not saying this is, and hear me loud and clear. This is not like a, hey, you have to deliver in 24 hours type of episode.
Yeah, that's
but it
that's
just
crazy.
worked out. It worked out for me in that day.
Mhm.
And it prompted a conversation between Joey and I where I was like, wow, I was able to get so much done in such a short amount of time and was able to deliver to the client. And they were stoked. Like they were so excited to receive it so quickly. And it prompted a conversation around normal timelines that creatives usually have, that we in our past have subscribed to, and how it's actually really detrimental to your business to make your client wait a really long time.
Yeah, totally.
So kind of just prompted this exact conversation.
You were amazing to get that done in 24 hours. One of the reasons actually why I wanted to buy this camera too, for everyone who's watching on video, this is just the Fuji X100VI, the 6. Love this camera, and I shot on this all day. Christy shot on your Canons. I had a Canon on me all day too, but I shot primarily on this. And one of the reasons why I love that, because I can capture a raw image and a film recipe JPEG. So I can shoot like a really beautiful photo, and how I've got it set up right now is kind of like emulate Portra 400 film. And the best part is I pull it off the card. It's all done. I have a raw file if I want, but I have a beautiful JPEG. Yeah. And what's cool is one of the reasons why I wanted that camera, I was like, I could second for you, shoot some really, really great stuff. It's got such a unique, beautiful look.
Like great little
and
add-ons.
We can literally turn around. I actually sent photos to the bride's mom that night.
Yeah.
I was airdropping people photos at the wedding.
At the wedding. You were.
At the wedding.
That's right,
I literally went up to the guy who officiated the wedding. And I was like, hey, Rich, let me airdrop this to you. And he was like, airdrop what? And I'm like, dude, I just took a photo of you and your kids, and you were like stoked on the photo.
Yeah.
I just literally pulled up my phone and airdropped it from the camera to my phone, and I just got it to him. And he was so stoked. He posted it, and he started sharing it. And then like everybody else started getting all these little sneaks that we were doing like that night, and then that next day when you delivered everything. And there's so many reasons. We're going to get into this in a second, but there's so many reasons on why you want to position your business to be able to deliver really, really quickly. Now, I know if you're a filmmaker and you're listening to this, you're like, oh, but Joe, you don't get it. I do get it. I'm a filmmaker by trade. That's my first art. I'm definitely a filmmaker before I was a photographer. And filmmaking does take more time. You need to think about it. You need to sit in it. You need to really look for gaps and try and find really, really cool solutions for a film. But the goal is to always do it in a way where you can master doing that as efficiently as possible. So that's what we're going to talk about from the business side, what some of the pitfalls are, why you guys want to do this. So Christy, start off right now. Why do you think the 6 to 10 week turnaround time that is very industry standard in brand films, in brand photos, definitely in the wedding industry, that's sometimes even fast for the wedding industry to get your stuff like 6 weeks after?
Oh, yeah.
Why is that broken, and why should people run from that and try and get stuff done way, way quicker?
Totally. Well,
and actually, within 14 days. Christy and I have a 14-day rule. It's like we always deliver our client stuff in a maximum of 14 days. It often happens in like 5 to 6 days or less.
Yeah. Well, I'll be the first to say that I have not always subscribed to super short delivery times. I definitely was in I think I was like the 4 to 6 week category for a really, really long time in my career. And I actually remember clients being like, wow, like that's actually pretty quick. And I remember kind of in the back of my head, kind of like always laughing, like, oh, it doesn't take me that long to actually do this, right? And every single person listening would go, oh, it does not take 6 weeks to be able to actually do the work you need to do in order to deliver. Work swells. Your work always swells to the amount of time you give it. It's the same thing if you're trying to pack your bag to the airport. If you give yourself 3 hours to pack, it's going to take 3 hours. If you have 20 minutes, you can get it done in 20 minutes. So I think that the problems with these long delivery times is that, one, you really lose out on when a client is hot on wanting to share. So when people are like excited, they've just left the wedding, they're so pumped, they're like wanting to share all about it, but they have to sit back and go, oh, well, I won't get my photos or my film for another like 2 to 3 months. And like they're bummed. Like every single couple, client, whatever, they're bummed when they think about the time that they have to wait. And I think that is not a super great customer experience for them. If you're trying to go, how do I make this the best possible experience, where they're going to want to share it with their vendors, and then also like refer their friends, that's going to be kind of like a low point, right? If you were to look at your customer journey and their experience throughout the way, that's probably the lowest point in your entire part of working with them, is the wait period time. So if you can shorten that gap of the low point of waiting, they're going to want to refer you. They're going to want to share your stuff. They're going to want to be on top of that, which is super cool. And it ultimately, people want to pay for speed. Like people want to pay for speed. Same thing as us with saying like, we want Amazon Prime. If it's literally not Prime, I'm like, well, I guess I'm just not getting it because I don't want to wait an extra 2 days, right? Like that is just the world we're living in. And so to subscribe to these long traditional timelines, it may not like hurt your business, but it's definitely not helping it. And if you're thinking about, I want to continue to make not only my customer experience incredible, but also the sales process incredible, you want to shorten those timelines for sure.
I would argue it hurts your business because I would be looking to hire someone with quicker timelines. Like I said, when clients look to work with us, especially for like brand photo stuff, especially on what we're doing with all the brand building stuff, design, rebrands, all the brand therapy stuff, that they're constantly saying, hey, we need this done in like 7 to 12 days. Can you meet that timeline?
Absolutely.
So there is a massive part of this, right? I do actually think it hurts your business.
I think I learned, because I was in the wedding industry for so long, and I think I was always like 4 to 6 weeks. And then I actually learned through working with brands that that's like total BS. Like I'm like, the fact that someone has to wait a month and a half or 2 months or 3 months to get their stuff back is actually crazy when I really think about it. I'm like, in the brand space, it's like, oh my gosh, okay, we just had a board meeting. We need content of something that's coming out literally in 2 weeks. Like we need to get this done now. Like we need to get this done yesterday. And if you want to play the game and you want to be in that space, you got to be really used to being super dialed, super organized, and turning around things really quickly and knowing how to do it in a quality way. And I think that I, for so long, sat in the wedding industry where I was like, man, this is just like, needs to be this long, because what if they don't think it's quality if it's coming too quick, or it's just as like I got a backlog of all these other weddings, things like that. It's just like you wait until the deadline and then deliver. And I think I learned in the brand space that it's like it doesn't have to be that way actually, and you're actually way better of a creative, even in your creativity, to edit closer to the time you shot than it is to wait forever. Like you are not going to do better work in a month and a half than you would just like literally that week.
Yeah,
you're going to do way better work. And so,
of course,
yeah, I think getting it off of your plate, like number one, like the reason you should subscribe to like a 14-day delivery time is to get it off your plate. Like,
talk about how that affects like your mental capacity.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that is a huge reason.
This is like really honest. So Joey and I pride ourselves on quick deliveries. And that's something that I feel like we like literally, as we've said over and over again already on this podcast, that's something we really subscribe to. We worked with a brand last year and it was great, but there was some back and forth that we needed to chat with the client about, get some like okays from. Like there was a lot of back and forth when it came to actually delivering a final product. And I remember it was like, we just weren't as quick. Like we just were not as quick as we normally are. And we were both just like so bogged down, even like emotionally, mentally, like around this project, because it wasn't like the life cycle of the project was going way too long. And we both were starting to just like feel like we were getting dragged down.
It's that draining feeling. We all know it, right? Draining. Where it's like, gosh, this could have been a week and a half project and it's now been 3 months.
Yeah. And some of it was
holding
totally
like brain capacity for that, right?
Yeah. And some of it's like, sometimes stuff like that is on the client and you can't control that, but a lot of it's on us, or like it's on us to like prompt the client to get responses.
Lead
and
the client through
I
it.
felt like we didn't handle that as well as we should have. And I just think I never want to feel that way again. Like I always want to feel like we can get things off of our plate and onto the next thing. It gives them a great experience, but it also gives you such a good experience. And especially thinking even like, if I can just ahead of time plan and strategize, like, okay, if I'm sending something off to get edited by an editor, I'm contacting them a month in advance, making sure that I'm available and that I've communicated my deadline with them. Or if you're using AI or whatever, setting aside time blocks into your schedule the following days after a wedding or a shoot to be able to actually edit, like actually blocking that out in your time so that you're just less stressed. So I think even just like number one, like most important, like just getting it mentally off of your plate so that you can actually continue to like move through your business and feel free. Like I felt great this week because I'm like, I'm not thinking about, let me just spread out the wedding over the entire week to try to like get things done. I'm like,
or
it's
the
done.
month. Yeah.
It's amazing and it's done.
Yeah, it's done.
Which is awesome.
You did a phenomenal job. It's done. Client is stoked. They're sharing it. You're getting a ton of eyes on your work.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. So yeah, that's a great first point, is like getting it off your plate is actually a massive mental accomplishment because you're not holding space for that in your brain or in your calendar. So that's number one. Number two, that we've kind of talked about that I'm just going to highlight one more time is that this is a massive sales tool. Like I cannot tell you how many times I have been in the sales process with a client for a photo gig, for a video gig, for a brand building gig in general, where there's photo, there's video, there's design, there's rebranding stuff. Maybe there's a web component. And the conversation completely hinges on what's our budget? How do we maximize that? And how does it fit in the timeline?
Yeah.
And if they can't figure out that timeline piece, if we're in their budget, but we can't get it done in the timeline they want, they're not hiring us.
Yeah.
And most importantly, I pride myself on that, like building teams that can get stuff done really quick. There's so many times where the client goes, well, I can get this for cheaper from this guy. So if you're going to do it for 50 grand, this guy said 38. So why would we work with you? We need you to bring the price down. And I go, that's great. Is that client going to hit the timeline guaranteed that you need to get done? Well, I don't know. We're not super confident in that. Well, if timeline is your priority here, which in the business world and the corporate world, a lot of the time timeline is the priority.
100%.
Well, then you probably need to fork out a little bit more cash, but I'm guaranteeing you we're going to get this done.
Yeah.
And I win deals all the time because we hit timelines super, super well.
I literally watch you on sales calls and I'm like, Joey's literally just pulling the time card.
I'm pulling the time card and I'm going, what is more important to you, budget or making sure this gets dropped on time, making sure this campaign goes live on time, making sure your distributors get all this content on time? What is more important? A couple $1,000s, which is really a drop in the bucket when you zoom out and actually look at the whole company's financials, or is missing the timeline? Does that not really matter? Well, it always matters. So I always sell people on fast turnarounds.
It's like selling certainty.
It's a huge sales tool. So if you're not working with that, I would highly suggest you do that.
Another aspect of that I think that always just like boggles my mind or bothers me is I hate ranges. Like I hate it'll be like 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 10 weeks or 2 to 3 months.
I'm like, hard date.
Give a hard deadline, because at least this is how I operate. Maybe I'm just like crazy immature, but I'm like, I won't do something if I don't have a deadline. Like I genuinely just won't do it. Like we talk about this all the time. Yeah. We're like, we need to like even set for ourselves deadlines in our own business for like our own personal tasks where no one's even watching, because if we don't have deadlines, we won't do it. And I think that if we have ranges of like 4 to 6 weeks or 8 to 10 weeks, first of all, the client's confused. And when people are confused, they get upset. And then you get people texting you being like, hey, when is it going to be? Like if it's not like a hard deadline, like give a date. I remember I used to do that. I would put in my calendar what the deadline actually was, and I would try to deliver before the deadline just to go above and beyond and over deliver. But that's just like one little ad is like when you are selling your fast turnarounds, first of all, make sure you're actually selling them. Don't have it just be in like a frequently asked questions. Literally put it in your offer. Like
make it a big part of your sales process.
Value add for you. Like if you're in the wedding space and you've got your 3 packages, like have your first 2 be like delivered within 14 days. And then maybe in your highest package, you go deliver in 7 days, right? Or something like that. Or you can have it as like an a la carte add-on to have an even expedited delivery time. People will pay for speed. You literally, you never know. And that helps so much in the sales process. Yeah. So we're big on that. Huge.
And especially in the brand world, if you're in the wedding space trying to break into the brand world, or if you're just in the brand world and you're trying to get better, really just get more deals, get higher paying deals. Christy, what percentage do you think of our brand campaigns that we shoot that are over $10,000 in value for the campaign? What percentage of those do you think have a 14-day or under turnaround the client is imposing?
Oh, I feel like I think for the projects we do, it is usually above 75%.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Above 75%.
Point I'm getting at here is like you need to get really used to turning around things fast, building systems to be able to turn around fast, because brands will not want to work with you. Like just to wrap up that point, it is such a sales tool. Brands will not want to work with you if you cannot deliver super, super quick. So very, very important.
Yeah.
We get clients that call us. Some of our biggest recurring clients call us and like, hey, we need this done by the end of the week. I know it's last minute, but we know you guys can do it. And we're like, yes, we can. Here's the rush fee. You know, and that's just business. That's how it works.
Talk about the rush fee.
They value the timeline, right?
Talk about a rush fee, Joe, and talk about what percentage of a project you would charge for a rush fee and what that would look like. If someone's like, oh, well, how much would I even charge for a rush fee? Like, what does that even look like?
A rush fee is really contingent on like the project price, because if it's like, oh, the project price is going to be $600, 10% of that, it's like $60. Like that doesn't make a ton of sense. I would be like, no, put on like $150, $200 rush fee if it's got to be like a 3-day turnaround or something
Yeah.
like that, right? But if the project is $15,000, a 5% rush fee or a 10% rush fee, a 5% rush fee at $750, that works, or a 10% rush fee at $1,500, that works. So you can just kind of play around with it and figure out what you feel like fits and is natural with the relationship with the client you have. But yeah, rush fees are something you don't always have to do them. We don't do them all the time.
No.
A lot of the time we just smile with our chin up and
We're
say,
already
absolutely,
rushing.
we got it. Yeah, we appreciate, we're charging a premium to begin with. So it feels good to just get the work and run with it. But yeah, so that's very, very important. So it's a huge thing in the sales process. The third point that you kind of already touched on, Christy, just to reiterate, is you catch people in the sharing window, right? Especially on the couple and the wedding side, definitely on the brand side too. If you're working more like with a founder, like the longer you wait from the day you actually engage in the shoot with the client, the longer you wait, the more the hype dies, right? And so the faster you can deliver, the faster they're going to want to share, the faster they're going to want to maybe even reconsider hiring you for the next project, planning the next project, or getting one of their bridesmaids to want to book you because it was such an incredible process, right? The faster you can deliver, the more opportunity is going to fall into your lap that.
It is so true. That I literally watched that this last week, and when I delivered the gallery, I have like all sorts of people sharing, posting, tagging. That wouldn't have happened if I would have delivered in 2 months. Like people would,
it's just not the same.
Maybe the bride and maybe the family would share, but like nobody else would be sharing because it's not hot anymore, right? And you got to share while it's hot, which is a really big deal. And so,
last but not least, this is one of our favorites one. Like the closer you deliver to the point of the actual shoot, if you can turn around a shoot in 2 days, 24 hours, 7 days, 14 days max, you have a way higher percentage of maybe getting tipped. And that's a real thing.
Absolutely.
Christy, what's the highest tip you've ever gotten?
I once
not expecting it. What's the highest tip?
Totally not expecting it. I didn't even know tipping was a thing in the wedding industry for a really long time, because when you're first getting started, oftentimes it's like, okay, it's really budget, all that kind of stuff. But as I started going on and on, I started getting tipped more, and I once got a $2,000 tip.
$2,000.
I literally
USD, baby.
The mom paid me. She paid me $2,000 over the last payment. And because the final payment was due on the wedding, and she paid me an extra $2,000. And I literally texted her. I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, you actually sent me the wrong amount of money. Like, you sent me $2,000 more." And she goes, "No, that's just a tip." Winky face. Like, we just loved having you there, and like blah blah blah. blah. And I think she actually even commented on like the speed in which I was like turning around stuff. And $2,000.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
And then you got like a $1,500 tip shooting that wedding in Canada you shot like 2 summers ago as well. Yeah. And you turned that around really quick as well. So point is that people love to reward speed.
Yeah, they do.
People love to reward speed. Your clients will want to thank you and reward you with speed. I think I would go as far as to say if you can always over deliver on how quickly you get somebody content. So if the client thinks they're going to get it in 14 days, you give it to them in 7. They think they're going to get it in 7, you give it to them in 2. They will probably 100% of the time, as long as the content's good, 100% of the time they will reward you. It might be a tip. It might be more business. It might be a referral. It might be a great testimonial. Like whatever that is, always opportunity will follow delivering with speed, which is really cool. We just live in a world where speed is valued so much. So
so whatever it takes for you to need to be able to deliver in 14 days or less, just do it. Like whether you got to bring on an editor, whether you need to start sending things like just outsourcing, whether you need to actually do the AI training like I need to do, like whatever you need to do in order to increase the speed. And that also comes with like planning ahead and like actually going like, yeah, let me block this out in my calendar. Let me hire who I need to hire, and actually not only set aside dates of like, this is when I'm shooting, but actually like not just shoot and then deadline, but like when's the workflow actually happening so that you can do it in a really quality way, because you do not want to deliver subpar work in a short amount of time. You want to deliver quality work, but that means you got to work ahead and in advance and not get piled up on a long editing list. So if you're like buried under an editing list right now, or an editing queue, hire somebody. Like just do it. have them do the middle portion. So you start, you do the sneak peeks, you show them what you want, and then have them edit the bulk. And then you get the final touches and the final say on everything else at the very end before delivery. That way you do not send off subpar work. That's like the best way to go. Like that's my favorite way to do editing. And so you just got to do it, you guys. I know it can feel like a lot when you're buried under a queue, but it is so worth it. And you will thank yourself if you take the time to actually invest in getting help.
Yeah, totally. And guys, if you are like, I love this conversation, I want to be around more conversations like this, you should join the next round of the Creative Rise Mastermind.
Heck
We're
yeah.
starting in September. The wait list is building right now. There's a ton of you guys on the wait list, and we always sell out. That is not a sales tactic. That's not a marketing tactic. We only take 35, maybe 36 businesses max. And we've run this 13 times. This will be round 14, and we always sell out. So I say that to say, if you have any interest in wanting to get our hands in your business and helping you build out the 6 pillars of a 6-figure business foundation in 6 weeks, tons of accountability, tons of interaction with Christy and I, tons of engagement and interaction with a bunch of other creatives who get you, who are also journeying through everything we're going to be teaching you. At the same time, you're going to build great friendships, and it's going to impact your business a ton. If you want to get your hands on that and you want to become a part of that, applications are going to be going live towards the end of August, and they go live to the wait list first, which is really exciting. So the wait list fills almost every single spot, about 80 to 90% of the spots every single time we run it. So it's really important you get on the wait list. The best part about the wait list too is it's going to give you all the information. So if you're even just like remotely interested in learning more about it, jump on the wait list, go to creativebrowse.com. You'll see all the wait list buttons there. Go to the link in the description of the podcast, and you can just get all the information about what the mastermind is, how it could help you, who it's for, and really what it would look like for you to get a return on investment there. You shouldn't do it if you can't see yourself getting a return on investment. And so make sure we really clearly line out who is going to get the best return on their investment if they go through it. And if that's you, you should highly consider it. So go to creativebrowse.com, and you also get a free course. The sales call formula course is going to help you really get better at selling on like live video calls with clients or in in-person meetings. Whether you're in the brand space or in the wedding space, we've actually built you the sales scripts, and we have sales video modules teaching you how to actually go through and integrate that into your process. You're going to get that whole course for free. Go to creativebrowse.com, join the waitlist, and you will get that free course, all the information about it. And we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for being here.
Send
this
to
a
guys.
friend that also needs to send this a friend that you know needs to deliver more. That you hang out with and you're like, bro or girl, you need to deliver on that wedding. It's been 3 months, man, or that brand project's just been sitting on a hard drive. You gotta go deliver it. So send this over to a friend. We'll catch you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.